Hello everyone, Neve here, and I'm going at a little bit of a different angle here, but I'm doing a tarot tag, and this is an old one that's been revived recently, and the original creator of this tag was like Meadow something. I'll put the name up on the screen, but this is hashtag Rainbow Decks, and it is kind of just a real fun video, just going through and totally intuitively picking out decks that follow the Roy G. Biv. Well, sort of like, a red deck, an orange deck, a yellow deck, green, yeah, blue, indigo, violet. But yeah, so and I think with this, you can kind of do whatever you want. You can pick based on the color or the energy of the color, whatever you want. So I kind of did a little bit of a mix, but I mostly kind of just focused on the color aspect itself. All right, so why don't we just get started? So for red, I went darker. I went with the Murder of Crows here. So, yeah, I mean, obviously it's red, but this is the special edition where instead of it being black and white, there are elements of red in the back and on the front cards as well. I mean, I went more, I guess, on the spooky or darker side of red for this. Yeah, oh, sorry, I'm bumping the camera. Yeah, so I like this one. I really liked the Murder of Crows, but I didn't like the black and white, the pure black and white version, which is the regular mass market version. This was a special edition. That's why I have a special number. I got deck number 2643. Yeah, and I knew that I was never going to get the plain black and white version. That was just not going to be for me. I really needed that red. So when I was pulling out decks for this tag, I was like, what deck am I gonna pull for the red prompt? And I was like, should I go a love route or something like that, or go kind of a spooky route or darker like blood or something like that? And then I saw my Murder of Crows sitting on the shelf, and I was like, oh, that, because the red was the whole reason I got this deck, was because of the red accents in it that is not available in the mass market version. So all right, so that is red, and that is the Murder of Crows tarot. Okay, so for orange, I pulled out the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. I think that's what it's called. It's not Cosma, it's Cosmic Slumber Tarot. So I pulled this out because, one, there is a lot of orange in this deck, so I really went the orange route. But there are other colors too, especially purple. I could have pulled this for the purple deck too, but I pulled this deck and I went for the orange aspect of this because as I've mentioned on my channel before, this is a deck that really makes me think of my oldest daughter. Her favorite color is orange, and the characters in this deck are very kind of gender fluid, I would say, or like the male characters are still a bit more feminine, and or I don't know if androgynous is the right word or if that's an acceptable word. I'm really actually not sure. But that's kind of the feeling it gives me. It's a very gender fluid sort of deck. And which, my oldest daughter is trans, and yeah, so it just kind of fits her really well, and there's a lot of characters in this deck that really make me think of her. So this is the deck that I associate with my oldest daughter, and her favorite color is orange, and there's a lot of orange in this deck. So this is why this is my orange deck. All right, so that is the Cosmic Slumber Tarot, and my pick for orange. Okay, so for yellow, this one took me a while. I was not sure what I was going to pick for yellow. I did finally pick a deck, and I'm pretty happy with that pick. But I'm kind of looking around my room right now and thinking that there's a couple other decks I could have pulled out for this. But I think we'll just stick with the one. I did pick out two for green, though. All right, so I pulled out the Anna K Tarot. Yeah, so gosh, I mean, this alone shows you why I chose this for yellow. There is a lot of really bright, bold yellows in this deck, and I mean, it's one of the reasons I love this deck. Um, I'm trying. This is such a different angle for me than normal, so I'm trying to make sure it's like staying in frame, and I keep ending up going like way over here. But anyway, I'll just have to reach around the camera this way. Yeah, I mean, look at these images, especially the ones with the yellow. This is such a bright deck, and the yellows I think really lend to the messages of the cards. Yeah, like in the swords, we don't see a whole lot of yellow, and then here in the Seven of Rods here, we see yellow on the figures here, and I mean, yeah, it's just there's a lot of energy in the yellows in this deck, so that's why this one ended up being my ultimate pick for yellow, and this is my favorite tarot deck. Yeah, I mean, look at that, how pretty is that, the Nine of Cups? That's gorgeous. And here, I mean, we have that golden area here, and this character is walking away from that. Yeah, I mean, it's once I realized, once I saw this deck, like my eye went to this deck looking for a yellow deck. I was like, oh, it's definitely this deck, because I mean, look at all the yellows in this. And the cards that don't have yellow or have very little yellow, I mean, I just think there's a lot of meaning to the yellow in this deck. So, yeah. So that is the Anna K Tarot, and that is my pick for yellow. Okay, so for green, I pulled out two decks, and this is actually, very narrowing it down, because I think there's a lot of my decks that could fit the green category. So I kept it to, I kind of kept it to colors, really. So I picked the Yunasa and the Forest of Enchantment Tarot, and we'll go through Yunasa first. Now, this is the 5th edition. I would not consider a lot of the other conditions to be a green deck, but this one definitely is. I mean, look at the backs. We have green, and the cards themselves are very, very green. I mean, yeah, this is very, very green. I mean, I guess I could have also put this in yellow, but no, this is more of a green deck. And I do like this edition. I like the size of the cards. They're very easily shuffleable. Green is my favorite color, so yeah, and purple is my second favorite color, and there's a lot of purples in this as well. So I still haven't fixed the bag that I made for this, because I made a bag for this, but and it was gorgeous, but it's just too big for the deck, so I have it torn apart right now, and I'm going to reduce the size, and eventually I will have this deck will have a bag again. I just haven't gotten to it. But yeah, obviously we can see why I chose this for green. All right, so that is the Yunasa Tarot, and that is one of my picks for green. So the other pick is the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. And I mean, it's pretty obvious why I picked this one. This one is also a very, very green deck. I mean, look at the beautiful backs here. Yeah, and it's very nature oriented. I could have also picked a deck that had a lot to do with like money or something like that. That would be a good green pick. There are elements of this deck too that feel very blue as well. So I feel like it's like, this is a very green deck, and this is like right after it, right? This is the transition to blue, at least in my opinion. And yeah, so I mean, if we go the nature aspect, then this deck definitely fits that. I also could have picked the Green Witch Tarot. Yeah, I could have picked the Druidcraft Tarot, which also I could have picked for yellow. So there's actually a lot of decks that I have that could have fit this category. I could have picked the I could have picked these Book of Shadows So Below, which has the green backs. I also could have picked the Prisma Visions, I think. Prisma Visions or Cosmovisions. One of those is blue and one of those is green. So yeah, anyway, so that is the Forest of Enchantment Tarot, and that is my other pick for green. Okay, so for blue, this is also another one that I could have picked multiple decks for, but I just picked one, and I went with the Everyday Witch Tarot. Just, you know, this one's a little fun, you know, and it is, you know, the bag I made for it is super blue. The backs for this deck are very, very blue. I love it. Sorry about the dog. She just ran through. She likes to bark at people that go by our house. Anyway, you know, here's a deck that I also could have done for yellow. Yeah, so I could have picked this for yellow, green even, but I don't know. This gives me blue vibes. It's blue energy. There's a lot of blue in it. Yeah, it's got that mystical element that I also associate with blue. Yeah, sorry about the dog again. She's so barky, especially when I do videos. Yeah, so this just, I don't know. There's something celestial, too. That celestial is something that gives me blue vibes. So there, and of course, there is a lot of blue in this deck. So, I really like it. And it's just a fun deck. It's another aspect of blue is calming, and I wouldn't exactly put this in the calming category. Yeah, I wouldn't call this a calming deck, but or a hug deck, really. It's just another aspect of blue could be healing, but again, I don't really feel that with this. This is more of an everyday reader, but I'm really connecting like the celestial part and the actual color itself to this particular prompt. So yeah, that is my choice for blue, and it is the Everyday Witch Tarot. Okay, for indigo, at first I wasn't sure what I was going to pull out for this one, but then it suddenly dawned on me, and this is not a tarot deck, but it is the Endless Oracle. And this is the bag I made for it, and I mean, it's super like indigo colored, like that between blue and purple sort of color here. And again, I'm a little bit off center. This is an odd angle for me. It really is. For the camera. All right, so I mean, look at this. This is very indigo to me. Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful box. The production of this was done just so well, and every single card is kind of an indigo color. So there was, you know, no doubt in my mind that this was going to be my indigo pick. I love this. It makes me think of Princess Mononoke. That's my favorite movie. Yeah, this is just, yeah, I don't know what energy indigo gives to me, but for color, I mean, this is a no-brainer. It definitely fits the indigo category, at least for me, and it is the only non-tarot deck on this list for me. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to really say about this. This is obviously very indigo. Yeah, I love the planets on a lot of these cards. It kind of adds an added level of interpretation. And for the bag, I obviously, you know, really tapped into that indigo, and I tried to use a couple other pops of other colors because that's what this deck has. They have a few like little pops of other colors here and there. So I try to do that here with a little pop of color in the embroidery. And yeah, so that is my choice for indigo. And that is the Endless Oracle. Here we go. Okay, so the last category, this is violet, and this was also one that was a bit difficult for me. I wasn't sure what I was going to pick for this. I hesitated, almost went with this deck or settled with that deck. I almost settled with the Shadowscapes Tarot, but it wasn't quite violet. And then I saw it, and this is perfect. The Crystal Visions Tarot. And I mean, look, the box itself is very purple. I still have yet to make a bag for this. This is one of my oldest decks, and I just don't have a bag for it. I could also put this in like a like magenta category. It's very pinky and purple. Yeah, I could have also chosen my Sailor Moon deck because the backs of those are purple, and if we kind of combine pink and purple, that would be a good pick for that. But this is one of the love decks that I use. I have two main love decks, the Crystal Visions and my Sailor Moon deck. And maybe that's also why I was thinking that I would potentially add the have the Sailor Moon deck for purple here, Violet. But yeah, but I think the Crystal Visions wins out. This is a very purple energy deck for me. Yeah, for sure. The other elements of purple, so another route I could have gone is tapping into that psychic energy. I could have tried to figure out a deck that filled that sort of role for me, but I'm not sure that I really have a deck that kind of fits that. I'm not sure. So I went with this route, which was a bit more on the I guess ultra feminine side, something that's very pretty, very ethereal. I think that's a good word for this deck, and it's also very like high. It's very fantasy. Yeah, I mean this is gorgeous. Yeah, there's it just this is a very purple deck for me. I mean, look at that one. The Lover's card is gorgeous, and this is also why this is a big love deck for me. It just exudes romance, I think. And I think that's where I was going here with the purple category. So that is my choice for purple, and we'll leave it on a card that is purple. Let's see which one. Let's go with this one, the star. So that is my choice for purple, and that is the Crystal Visions Tarot. All right, so I'm going to pull out all the decks and take a quick picture for the thumbnail, and that'll be it. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye!